This is Christina from The Upcoming. It's so lovely to speak with you today. Would you like to start by sharing what The Fire Inside is about?
The Fire Inside is an inspirational sports movie until it becomes an inspirational life movie. And it's really about this incredible boxer, Clarissa Shields from Flint, Michigan, who, at 17 years old wins the Olympics. And then ultimately it's about what happens when winning isn't enough.
And can you share with us how your film's title came to be and how it evolved from Barry Jenkins' screenplay title, Flint Strong?
The film's original title was Flint Strong, and we were really excited to rebrand Flint with this inspirational message. Clarissa is such a hero and like a hometown hero. And I actually would have loved to keep that title, but the reality is that most people, when they heard that title, went immediately to the water crisis. And, the water crisis happens 2 years after the film is set. And so in terms of getting people excited for this inspirational movie about a boxer, we had to reimagine it with something that really spoke to the message of the film, which is really resilience. And The Fire Inside came from that.
And what inspired you to choose this subject for your directorial debut?
I was drawn to this project because I didn't know the story. I think she's such an incredible athlete, a legend, really, and her spirit, her resilience, and what she's accomplished deserve to be out in the world. And I think I saw myself in it a little bit just from my history as a female cinematographer and kind of the years in which it wasn't enough just to be good at what I did, that there's always sort of this, extra hoops you have to jump through. And so there were ways that I could relate into the messaging of the film.
And veering into your background in cinematography, Flint, Michigan, where Clarissa is from, is such an important part of the film. Even before Jason mentions that people see Flint as a ghost town, the way the streets were shown earlier just feels so haunting, even though the community is so together. Could you walk us through how you went about recreating Flint in the film?
Well, I didn't have to recreate Flint. I shot Flint for Flint, and that was incredibly important to me. I was, it was the single hill I was willing to die on to make sure that we shot Flint for Flint, because Flint is this beautiful, incredible, inspiring, resilient place that also is very representative of some of the messaging in the film, this idea of the American dream versus the American reality. And so even that opening drone scene as we kind of soar in over Flint and you see this girl who's running for everything, right? You get a clear understanding of resilience as the message.
And so the film was shot in Toronto, but were there any plans at any point to shoot it on location in Flint?
I would have loved to shoot the whole film in Flint and even in Detroit, back and forth basically between Flint and Detroit. But the reality is there's no studios left in Detroit and there's no tax incentive. And so we had to get the movie made at all, we had to go where we could afford to make it. And that ended up being Canada. But like I said, every exterior we shot in Flint, all of the plates for the drive, we basically made sure that Flint represented itself, and just shot our interiors in Toronto.
And how did you know Ryan and Brian were right for the roles?
Brian is just a legend. I've loved him in everything that he's done. I'm such a fan. I think what was exciting for me is to see, Brian often plays these larger than life, incredibly charismatic, characters that jump off the screen, and to see what he can do, and just bring so much humanity and like a grounded authenticity to a father coach figure that is just incredibly relatable was really exciting to me. Yeah, I mean, he elevates everybody around him. And with Ryan, I was looking for an actress who was very athletic and came to realize that most actors who pursue acting are not the jocks in school and they sort of have very different skill sets. And Ryan came in and her audition just blew me away. I was working with Francine Maisler, and it was specifically the fight scene in the hallway where she and Jason kind of grow apart. My jaw was on the floor, and I looked at Francine, and hers was too, and we just knew that she was our girl. And then it was about really rigorous training and nutritional regimens to get her in the physical shape that she would need to be in to portray a boxer. And I think I thought I could maybe double her if I needed to, and thankfully I didn't have to because she did every one of her own stunts.